In my 6 years of e-commerce, I have never seen a company that has just started from Facebook ads and has had a smooth sailing all the way through, only successful ads, each ad selling more than the previous one, etc. Every single company gets stuck at some point with their Facebook ads, and in this video we are going to go over how you can prevent that as much as possible and how you can troubleshoot this when this happens. Now, many people say that entrepreneurship is about solving problems, and definitely Facebook ads performance troubleshooting is about solving your internal problems. You get to be an investigator and see where you are getting stuck, or rather where your traffic is getting stuck and why. So it is all about understanding the visitor's journey so we can go ahead and fix those problems. And I'm going to go and provide you a few different touch points where you can use benchmarking to see where you are behind, where you are ahead, and then you can focus your efforts accordingly. So the important part here is understanding where you're getting stuck, where the visitors are dropping off, and then being able to fix those things. But before we jump into this one though, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the video if you like it so far, and especially if you learn something new. If you're interested in our company's optimization services for sites and your average order value, go to growgurus.com to learn more. All right, so here the first thing is that you can always benchmark. And the first thing, when in doubt, benchmark. So there's all kinds of data about click-through rates, performance, etc., based on industry, based on different shop types, etc. So just check that data and see how you compare. And this way you will be able to know whether you have problems in your click-through rate or whether the problems are with something else. So if, for example, people are clicking through that, but they're getting stuck on the site, then most likely you have something wrong on the site part. And here a good thing to understand is that the traffic is only one part of the puzzle. You have to be able to do a good job here in the middle part before they become a customer. And this is where you have several clicks before they can even become a customer. So if you look at the typical Facebook ad, it's one click, and then on the conversion path you go through several clicks at least before you purchase. So Facebook ads optimization in a way could also be looked at as a site optimization, optimizing your unique selling proposition, etc. So it all plays together, and the better your site, the better you will be at turning that traffic into sales. The more traffic you can acquire, the more competitive you will be, and the more profitable your Facebook ads will be. So good to keep in mind that when you are optimizing the ads, don't just look at the ads and expect the ads to do the heavy lifting. It is just one part of the puzzle. But yes, like I said, go ahead and look at your benchmarks, and then you will be able to check that versus the numbers you have. Now, as said here, too many people focus way too much on the ads. This is what we commonly see here, especially when it comes to stores that are more on the beginner phases, because the ad is fairly easy to optimize. You can swipe ads, you can think through that, okay, I only need like good imagery, good text. It's fairly easy. Now with the site itself, or the landing page, the offer, etc., this is where it gets a lot more tricky because you need to understand it very much in depth, and it's a lot more complicated to understand, explain, to do well. So typically we see this one, and people naturally go to where they are best. So if your focus and efforts look like you are getting good returns on the ad part, and it's then easy to ignore this landing page part. So step one, look at the benchmarks. If your click-through rate is bad, it's the ad. If it's not, it's more likely to be on the landing page. Now with the landing page, look into the behavior in there. So are you having a high bounce rate from the landing page? What are people doing there? Are they scrolling below the fold? You can use tools like Hotjar or Lucky Orange to figure that out. Where are the drop-offs? Are they navigating to other pages? And what you can read through that. And if you are a merchant with not that much traffic, the best thing you can do probably is just watch a ton of recordings from clients. So this software can record your client screens and you can watch it later on and try to understand, try to piece together what they're thinking, how they're feeling, and how you can help them make the decision to purchase. So that connection there between your ad and your landing page is important. So if the ad is very beautifully polished, looks great, but the website itself is crap, then you're sort of promising them an expectation that you are not handing them on the landing page. And it's going to be a disappointing experience, emotions going down, and then it just dwindles down from there. So make sure to sort of keep your promise with that initial experience. So similar messaging, similar visuals, both your ads and website, to ensuring consistent expectation management and experience from those visitors. And then look into that behavior on the page to examine the drop-offs, see if the bounce rates are high, what they are doing there, what's causing the problem. Now, those are the first couple. The third one is if they are actually already adding products to the cart. And this is where it starts to be more on the site itself. So they have come through the site and come from the ads. Now they have kind of bit forgot about the ads already because they have decided to add them to the cart. And this is where your website optimization comes into play. There's a lot of data on cart abandonment, checkout abandonment as well. So I recommend you check it versus your numbers also. But a good thing to understand here is that you should expect a lot of this. It's very common behavior, but this means that it's less likely to be about your ads. There's some level of interest to the site, and the further along the shopping journey they go, the less it is about the ads. So if you have a high cart abandonment rate, it's more likely to be about your shipping costs, some trust issues, lack of urgency, those kinds of things, rather than the ad itself. And then, of course, it depends on the industry. So always read into this as well and see what kind of data you should look into. And then once you start getting further down the funnel, so you have checkout abandonment, that's where the ad starts to make less and less of a difference because people are further removed from the ad itself. And then you'll start working more toward the site optimization again and making sure that everything is aligned for that purchase. So there's reasonable shipping costs, reasonable follow-up sequences for your email marketing if they are following or leaving on the checkout and these kinds of things. So if you have those basic elements in place, then your checkout abandonment should be reasonably low. But again, if you try to fix this on the ad level, then you might be missing out on some important elements. So for example, your payments might be not going through. You might be missing important payment methods. Let's say you're missing Apple Pay, for example, and these kinds of things. There might be trust issues, objections not handled, etc. So it's good to keep in mind that you can't fix everything with the ads. And if you have done all of this right, it's really time to check out your overall strategy because you need to be able to understand why customers will buy from you instead of Amazon, for example. What is your competitive advantage? What are you doing to become emotionally relevant? How are you understanding your customers and presenting it to the way that they relate to? And how do you communicate your unique selling proposition? Which, by the way, is the topic of next week's video. So if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure to do that. And we're going to dive into that one. It's very related to the video from today with the abandonment, because the first thing that people see when they land on your particular site is your unique selling proposition. And that's where you get to answer the 3 important questions. What is this? Why am I here? And why should I buy from you? So looking forward to that one. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.